with Bret Hart claiming Triple H wanted to ruin The Rock, an NXT referee addressing his controversial views, and a potential spoiler for Smackdown. This is Wrestling Up. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report for May 2nd. Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Hub and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. Bryan had an incredible match Friday to cap off his Smackdown career, but his favorite contest of his was the WrestleMania showdown he had against Kofi Kingston, saying this to Robbie Fox. "My favorite match in my WWE career is my match with Kofi at WrestleMania 35. It's so special and such a cool moment. One of the things that I love is Kofi's winning at the end. WrestleMania 30, my shoulder is horrible. I hurt my neck, I have this horrible pain down my arm, and I have to get up and do media the next morning. Everyone comes up to you and are like, congratulations. There's a lot of responsibility. When I wrestle Kofi, everyone goes to Kofi and says congratulations to him. I get to have my moment with him and be like, hey man, thanks, that was awesome. Then I get to hug my wife and daughter and go home the next day. Kofi is the one who has to do media and deal with the people congratulating him." When it comes to the controversial views of NXT referee Drake Wuertz, he has taken to Facebook to defend himself, writing, "My wife said some folks are apparently writing about our radical views. Human trafficking is modern day slavery and we seek to eradicate it. Abortion is murder and needs to be abolished. Children in my community that are being forced by local government to wear masks for 8 hours a day against their parents' wishes is abuse. We have a God-ordained duty to speak up for the least of these and petition our magistrates to prevent harm upon our children. If this is radical, then label me an extremist for Christ. We're not called to fit in the world, we're called to serve God. We ought to obey God rather than men." According to David Bixenspan, a recent screenshot reveals that one of those that shared this post was NXT producer Road Dogg. Someone make the arguments for if I should or shouldn't comment on that Drake Wuertz Facebook post. Context: this was friends only when he posted it last night, but he made it visible to logged in non-friends this morning after Brian James asked if he could share it. Also, one of the comments, the longest, is from Daniel Rose, who you'd know better as Matt Riddle's lawyer, who kept printing a press release on label paper and photographing it instead of screenshotting the damn thing like a normal person who thinks we're making fun of trafficking. CM Punk did previously mention that his favorite thing in WWE right now is the QAnon stable on NXT, and with this bit of news, it's safe to say it might be real. With there being changes coming to Friday nights this week, Ringside News has said in regards to Smackdown being a throwback show that WWE is holding a throwback Smackdown, but what does that mean? It turns out that nobody knows backstage either. When people asked, they were just told that they'll be updated this week. Former WWE and ECW star Dawn Marie has apparently divorced herself from the wrestling world, saying on the Table Talk podcast that it had to do with her charity. "I hung it up when the whole controversy, I thought I've had enough of you people when that whole controversy happened with Wrestlers Rescue. It was all lies. I put so much proof that every single thing was a lie. Everything. I had all this proof. No one wanted to hear it. All they wanted to hear was bad stuff and people believed it. I was like, you know what? I don't have to be hurt by this anymore. Why am I here? I was like, I can't do it anymore. That's it, I'm done. I'm washing my hands. It was just consuming. I was so hurt that people, or should I say the fans, actually believed it. I was like, you know what? I'm not putting myself there anymore. I'm done. I spent more money on that foundation than I ever made on that foundation for people. Not only that, my whole purpose of creating that organization, because after I was fired and I had my lawsuit with Vince, I just wanted to make lemonades from lemons. It was my way of trying to change a business in a positive way. Isn't that what we were always taught in the business? You want to retire knowing you've changed the business in a positive way. Well, my career was cut short, so I wasn't able to really do too much in the ring. That was my way of staying true to my promise to like Snuka and everyone that ever passed down this business to me and took the time to teach me. When it was dirtied up so bad, I was like, I'm out. This business has hurt me for the last time and I don't have to anymore. I don't have to. I just divorced it. This charity was meant to help those retired from wrestling with medical bills. In 2012, the late Kamala condemned Don for raising money he never received, and the Blue Meanie tweeted tweeted this that same year. I always had a feeling Wrestlers Rescue was a scam since they aren't a registered charity and wrestlers who they've collected for never got a dime that was supposed to get to them. 2 years ago I was asked to donate an item for auction for Jerry Lynn's back surgery. He told me he didn't know about and didn't get a dime. I always heard rumors Wrestlers Rescue ripped off my idol Steve Williams. Then I heard straight from Jerry Lynn he never received a penny. I never really thought of speaking out until I saw the video Kamala made. It's a shame to collect money off of false pretenses. Being interviewed on the 81 podcast, Bret Hart touched on his behind-the-scenes struggles with Triple H and Shawn Michaels and how that spilled over to The Rock. I know that Triple H and maybe even Shawn back then were pretty ruthless. If someone was tied to me or connected to me, they would try to ruin them. Even Rock Dwayne Johnson, they really tried to crack him, really bust his chops all the time, all while I was there. I remember telling Dwayne all the time, I remember going, don't listen to these guys, don't let these guys, like you're a really good talent, you don't need these guys. In fact, I wrestled, if you remember, when I did that big interview where I talked about America and how they could kiss my ass and all that. That same night, I think maybe on next week's taping, but it was filmed that night, I wrestled The Rock in a match. Wrestled Dwayne Johnson. They wanted me to beat him in the ring. Triple H wanted me to beat Dwayne Johnson and win the Intercontinental title, and I remember I refused. I said, what do I need the Intercontinental title for? We ended up doing the figure 4 on the post, and Steve Austin came out, Owen and Davey came out for a run-in, and a bunch of interference. And I remember Triple H was sick about it. He wanted me to beat. He had a thing for Dwayne Johnson. He wanted to ruin Dwayne. He just hated him. And I remember saying I like Dwayne Johnson, and I think he just got the Intercontinental title. He doesn't need to take it from him. I don't want to be the Intercontinental champion. It was all politics. I think Triple H was trying to steer me into the Intercontinental belt instead of the World belt. The Hitman would add, I never thought Triple H had an original idea for anything. I always thought he was overrated. The only reason people even know him or remember him today is because his daddy-in-law put him in charge. When it comes to the IC title picture, it was said on the Wrestling Observer that it looks like they may do a tag with Aziz and Sami Zayn against Kevin Owens and Big E. You know, that's what it sort of set up. It was even noted that the finish was to set up a Big E return. That finish wasn't set up to blow off Big E. While fans are looking forward to E eventually breaking out from the mid-card to the main event, it seems he still has business to take care of in the form of the current IC champion Apollo Crews. A fan by the name of Abdul Malik has posted a heartwarming tribute to Becky Lynch's late father, as the man replied saying, "This is absolutely incredible. Thank you so much for doing this. I'm a bit lost for words." And this was your Pro Wrestling News Update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.